What's going on, Jeromes? So firing up a little Q&A. Thank you very much for submitting questions. To submit a question, we usually put it out like a call out for questions in the community tab. So check that out. First one. Nugs. I just recently got some bad family news with my sister's health. How do you always find a way to be positive? I'm just kind of starting to question the world and why things are the way they are, but I come on these videos and you're always positive, kind of highlighted my day. Man, all right, so we're getting deep right off the bat. I was hoping to warm up with like a, I don't know, how good is Josh Oliver question. But first off, sorry to hear about the bad news, man. It's always rough. But I think in this specific situation, just always, being there for your sister because, she's obviously going through a lot and, just trying to support her in whatever way possible. And, sometimes that means being strong. Sometimes that means just being a shoulder to cry on. Sometimes that means being a happy, fun distraction, because never underestimate the ability to just sort of get away during tough times. Just having that mental break versus everything being so heavy. And us for a positive attitude. I don't know. Like, I think it comes back to one of my favorite quotes is from Naval Ravikant, is that happiness is a choice. And most people are upset by things that happen to them. And that can be like monumental things in life. That can be tragic things. That can be very trivial things. And most of the time it is trivial things. And it's not about what happens to you. It's about how you react to it. And I don't know, like I don't know if this was cultivated, but I've always just had a attitude of like, we'll figure it out. Obviously some things can't just be gutted out and figured out through grit, but I don't know, I've always thought that there's a way to get something done, and the defeat is only defeated if they see themselves as such. I don't know. Like this is really tough because it's people grieving and people trying to find the positive things in life. It certainly isn't one size fits all, and I can't even pretend to speak on your situation. But just take it day by day, hour by hour, and just give her the best support that you can. And for you, just instead of focusing on what's negative, focus on what's positive. What's going well, like what can you control, and just stuff like that. And like I said, this is like 30,000 foot advice because I don't know your situation, but just wishing the best for you, wishing the best for your family at this time. Just sucks, man. Owen. I've heard your initial thoughts on when the Vikings signed Kirk into. I've never heard your initial thoughts on when the Vikings signed Kirk in 2018. Were you excited personally? I wanted to see Case come back, but Kirk has certainly grown on me. Well, that was an interesting offseason because it was actually a three-way. So you had Kirk Cousins in free agency. You had Case Keenum, who's coming off that magic carpet ride in 2017. You had Teddy coming back from injury, and Zimmer actually wanted Teddy back. Yeah, that was the whole thing. He never really bought into Case. Yeah, the whole thing during 2017, we're at the press conferences where Zimmer was very stingy with the praise and like wouldn't like commit to Case. Blah blah blah. That was legit. Right? And as it showed, I mean, Case was a flash in the pan. Everything just came together that one season. And then Kirk, I mean, as weird as it sounds, a 3 or $84 million fully guaranteed deal. Kirk Cousins, like that was the safe option versus gambling that if Case could do it again and then gambling on Teddy's health. So, first couple years, like it took a while for Kirk to settle in, and also before the bye in 2020 is probably the worst football I've seen Kirk Cousins play. But after the bye in 2020 and ever since then, he's been phenomenal. He's been really good, man. AJ Barnes. Other than Andre Carter and Ivan Pace, which UDFA do you think could have the best shot at making the final 53-man rooster? And do you think all of our draft picks will make the 53? Which one has the highest potential ceiling? As always, love your content, brother Skull. All right, so draft picks. Do I have that? No. All right, so defensively, I think Carter and Pace make the 53. And offensively, I think that Malik Knowles has a chance to make it. I think he has a chance to slide in as a wide receiver 4, 5, 6, as well as special teams upside. If they keep King Kene, not as a kick returner, even though Knowles is a stud there, but as a punt gunner and all that stuff. Yeah. In terms of all the draft picks making it, so Hall, yes. McBride, yes. Addison, yes. Blackman, Ward, and Jaquelin, yes. So I think that's the upside of having 6 draft picks. Next, Traveler, what's your biggest personnel concern heading into the season? I'd say depth at linebacker, where I love Asamoah, but he's still unproven. Hicks is a liability in the passing game, and beyond that, I mean, I like Pace Jr. a lot, but is he ready to be the guy in year one? Probably not. I think Dye's a career backup. I think Reeder's a career backup. I think Kwenku has got some upside, but who knows? So, I mean, it gets really thin really quick at off ball, so we'll see. Justin Everett, which game do you believe will be the most intense fun to watch out of the Chiefs, Niners, and Greasy Grimy Green Bay Packers game during the holidays? I would say Packers. Well, even though, the Packers are going to be like 4-11 at that point. But also, I think Chiefs will be a fun atmosphere because I think there's a lot of Midwestern Chiefs fans that are going to make the trip up. So, and also the defending Super Bowl champions coming into your building. So if you can't get up for that game, you can't get up. Niners will just be a tough slugfest. But Greg Lawson, Andy, I love the show and want to support the content, but I also want to look stylish. Is there a way to do both at the same time? Oh, hell yeah. Jerome hat. That's right. PurpleFTW.net. Link down below. Producer Allie will thank you. Kyle Engstrom. Skull from Erie, Pennsylvania. Which player do you think is going to take a major step forward this year, and one player you think could take a step back? Player taking a big step forward this year. Ed Ingram, but also that step is not going to be on Kirk's foot. So that would be kind of nice. Step back. I don't know. It's hard to say which player would take a step back. Actually, I don't want to put that hex on anyone. There's a couple players I think that their play could stay the same, but also don't want to. Jordan Hicks. Next, Uncle Rico. What would you think about a potential Kyler Murray to the Vikings trade next offseason? I was never the biggest Kyler fan in the world, and coming off the ACL now, like I don't think that he's the true blue leader that you want at the QB position. I don't think that he inspires his teammates. I know that he's got a good arm. I know that he makes plays with his legs, but nah. Carter, do you think Pace and Andre Carter could at some point this year become starters? Probably not this year, but I would say down the line. I think Pace, right now, I'm going to say Pace is going to be a starting linebacker for the Vikings within 2 years. And I think Carter within 2 years is going to be a high-end contributor in the rotation in terms of pass rushers. INF. If we trade Dalvin to the Dolphins, is there any chance we get one of the running backs back in return, or do we stick with the running backs we got? Now, I think any Dalvin transaction will be straight up for a draft pick. And I think the Vikings running back room, even without Dalvin, is pretty damn solid. Madison, Kincaid, Ty Chandler, and McBride. T-Rag. Is there anything the Vikings can realistically do to get a first-round pick for next year? Get another first-round pick next year. Feel like we're going to be in contention for a quarterback. Trade Daniil. If you can get a first for Daniil and some change, I think you consider it at this point. Ben H., even though I don't think you should, but I think the Vikings might. Ben H., I think entertainment and fun counts more than Super Bowls. 2017, 2022 were fantastic seasons. What were your thoughts? I mean, there were fun seasons. 09, 98 thrown there as well. But at the end of the day, I mean, the ring is what it's all about. Zaragoza 44. Any early thoughts where the Jerome meetup will be in Vegas versus the Raiders if you're going to the game? So I'm not gonna lie. So I like nice places in Vegas as much as anyone else, but I also am a big fan of dive bars and also like dive casinos, like where the locals roam. So I don't know, Ellis Island or OYO or the Orleans or something like that. I don't know. We'll brainstorm. Peppermill. I love the Peppermill, man. It's good times. But yeah, we'll figure something out because I'm gonna be out there during the Raiders game. I might not even go to the game. I might just go to like one of the sports books or hell, Circa. Well, that'd be kind of cold that time of year. But we'll figure it out. Reptar. Which position players are going to be involved in the best closest training camp battles this year? All right, so training camp battles. I would say KJ and Osborne Addison and Osborne for wide receiver 2. And then also it's a logjam for whoever's going to be wide receiver 4, 5, 6. Nothing really else there. I would say Seen, Bynum, and Jay Ward. Maybe Metellus too in terms of the second safety, even though Flores is going to likely use multiple safeties, which he's done everywhere else. Cornerback is going to be interesting. So Murphy's the lock, but Evans, Booth, Blackman, Williams, Barnes, like who's going to be the other 2 cornerbacks? Who knows? Then, yeah, who else is going to get reps along the defensive line? So there's a lot of battles that are going to be pretty damn close heading into training camp. Justin Strollenberg, what games are you looking forward to the most, and which teams would you like getting their asses handed by the Vikings in the playoff Super Bowl? All right, looking forward to the Eagles. Iron sharpens iron. Then you got the Chargers, Chiefs, and Niners, but all 3 of them are home. Like, people don't recognize how big that is. And then I don't know. Like, this is a tough schedule, but also they have to play the Vikings, and I think this is gonna be a fun ass schedule overall. So I'm good to go. And also, if we get like a revenge tour where the Vikings beat the Saints and the Eagles, marching on Giants, Saints, Eagles. Although I don't think the Giants are gonna make the playoffs again. And then, beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Why not? Or the Raiders. Well, Raiders ain't getting the Super Bowl. Let's see here. Connor Keck. I plan on taking a trip to Minnesota for a game next season. Any recommendations for hotels, restaurants, and other Minnesota attractions? Well, hotels, just get someplace downtown that's close enough that you can walk to the stadium. Walk to the stadium or get a quick Lyft or Uber, one of the two. But so obviously, I don't really get a lot of hotels downtown since I live here, but the W is really nice. The Lowe's is awesome. I stayed at a lot of Marriott's. I think there's a Marriott right down near Target Center. So there. Restaurants, you got to go to Manny's. That's a Minnesota institution. Red Cow is really good. Kato no Misi is a sushi place that's in downtown Minneapolis, which is really good. Really good, man. Hoban for Korean, except that's in Eagan. If you take a trip out to Eagan for, drive by the facilities, or they may still be doing tours at that time during the season. I don't know, but check that out. It's worth it, I guess. If you want to go to St. Paul, the Lower Town is fantastic. It's probably my favorite neighborhood in the cities. It's got great bars, Bulldogs down there, Justin Sutherland's restaurants down there too. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on, and beyond just the Saints being down there, it's good. Butcher and the Boar is good. Well, any restaurant that has "and the" in it is always going to be good. You notice that where it's like it's either 2 names or it's something and the something. Bunnies in St. Louis Park. If you want to see where Mike Tice used to hang out all the time, it's great. I'm a big fan of Glick's downtown. Get the Beer Tower. Local's a good bar too. That's good. Also, since it's Minnesota, you have to get the Juicy Lucy. So the whole Matt's Bar versus 5-8, all that stuff. They're both pretty close to downtown. Blue Door, multiple locations. They're really good. Obviously close to my heart. The Nook in St. Paul, fantastic too. So yeah, lots of good stuff. Attractions. I don't know. The mall. It's sort of like when Mekhi Blackman was blown away by the Mall of America. It's like if you live here, like you're sort of whatever about it, or you just try to avoid it. But if you're from out of town, it's a big deal. It's the mega mall, man. First Ave, seeing the whole wall, get your picture taken next to the Prince Star. The lakes, famous for it, all that stuff. Paisley Park tour, go see the Spoon and the Cherry. I've never been to the Cherry and the Spoon. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, so it is what it is. Enjoy your time here in the great state of Minnesota. Samuel RC. Will you be going to the game in Las Vegas? And if so, would you do a Jerome meetup there? Definitely doing a Jerome meetup. I already got flight and hotel booked. Actually, where am I staying? Actually, maybe I shouldn't reveal that. But I don't have a ticket yet for the game. And also, I'm really indifferent if I go to the game or not. Because tickets at Allegiant are super expensive, man. Like, redonkulous. Like, would I rather do that, or would I rather be hanging out with a bunch of Jeromes with a ton of beers in the sports book? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Reed King 65. What's the best possible trade to the Vikings could get from Dalvin? Probably a fifth. At this stage, probably a fifth. Hashir Zuberi. We have the Broncos' former O-line coach Dalton Risner, an obvious upgrade at guard, is untouched in free agent market. We have made a move. Thoughts? That's connecting a lot of dots. I think Risner would be an instant upgrade over Ezra at left guard, but the fact that they haven't done that, the fact that Risner's still out there makes me think that is there something behind the scenes? Is there a medical issue that has him off of teams' boards and free agency? I don't know. It's weird, man. Certified Austin Theorist. Thoughts on the Paul Blart Mall Cop movies? I've not seen them, but so I know Kevin James gets a lot of stick for his movies and stuff, but Kevin James' stand-up is actually really good. He's good, man. K Fizzle. Honest thoughts on the Rush Hour series? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I think Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker have clear chemistry, which is kind of fun to see. So, overall, they're good. I saw the first one. I don't know if I've seen the second or the third because there's three, right? Eric Anderson, is it safe to assume nothing happens with Dalvin before June 1st? Possibly, because if they trade him post June 1st, they get a little extra cap relief, kick some of his signing bonus to 2024. If they cut him, I mean, they could come at a point and make him a post June 1st designation, but we'll see. You know what's awkward is that Dalvin's going to be playing in the Thielen charity softball game on May 31st, and he could be cut or traded the next day, which is kind of funny. Holly Claire. Predict the next starting quarterback as well as the next starting linebacker. So the next quarterback not named Kirk Cousins to start a game, Jaron Hall. Yeah. Next starting linebacker, I think it's going to be Pace and Asamoah. That's right, babe. That's right. Next, Bob Jones. Kirk came and spoke at my school, and when he was asked a question about offensive playmakers, he listed Jefferson, Addison, KJ, and Madison. No Dalvin Cook. Yeah, I think that's just another sign that Dalvin gone. Supercore 98. Why do you post several short videos a day rather than the traditional long-form podcast? I enjoy the short videos, but would one longer video a day be easier in any way? We've thought about it, but also I like being able to be mobile, agile, hostile, and whenever news breaks or whenever something interesting happens, just to put it out as opposed to, I don't know, waiting a whole day and then putting it on a long podcast. And plus, people like to pick and choose their topic. So, yeah, I don't want them having to search through. Even with chapters, it can be kind of annoying. And if you just want to watch this whole thing as like one continuous show, I mean, you can do that. I mean, just the playlist will just play. So, I think that people like the shorter videos a little bit better. Carter 0. Will Justin Jefferson get his extension before OTAs? No. I think before training camp, maybe. But not before OTAs, which is, well, OTAs are going on now. We'll say minicamp mid-June. Still not then. Abul, 1984. If the draft 2024 would be tomorrow, would you trade JJ for the number 1 pick to get Caleb Williams? It sucks to say, but yes. Sucks to say, but yes. Michael Converse, do you feel like the concept of regression towards the mean is playing a role in how media jackals are analyzing the Vikings this year? What if last year lost 5 games by... Well, oddly enough, in 2021, the Vikings lost several close games, but no one said that they're going to have positive regression in 2022. And then last year, of course, all those close games, point differential, all that stuff. So people weren't going to give the Vikings respect anyway. So that's fine. I think it's more that as opposed to they played over their skis, which they probably did to a degree. But I still think that they should be favorites to win the North, even though everyone's on the Lions' ass. I think the Vikings, their defense will get better simply by being more aggressive, as well as having some health and some puck luck there. And the offense got better. What's not to like? Stephen Baker. Next offseason, would you rather re-sign Kirk, trade for Kyler or Trey, or draft someone like Ewers? Re-sign Kirk and draft Ewers. Why not? Todd or Michael Penix Jr. Let's go. Todd Hayesbroke. Favorite Marvel movie? I'm not really a Marvel guy. I guess Guardians. I really like the Guardians movies. Yeah, so there you go. Gracian Bosch. Will the Vikings ever win the Super Bowl, and will they ever draft a quarterback in the top 10? Yes and no, because they'll never be in the top 10. Woo. Carter. What is more likely running back room? Dalvin, Madison, Kincaid. Say Madison, Kene, Chandler, McBride. I think that's going to be the four. The four Norsemen. Nobel War Prize. When recreational marijuana is passed, does anything change for you? Not really. No. Now, people I know changes everything. But for me, it's not really my thing either. Manny. Cam Newton QB2? Nah. Should the Vikings sign Tyler Johnson? I would say give the pride of Minneapolis North a shot, but I mean he's bounced around from team to team probably for a reason. So, Daniel Brueggemann. If we're going to have a 9-8 or 8-9 record at best, why extend Danielle Hunter? It would be a waste of capital. We need our first franchise quarterback. Trading Hunter, Yeah, because why would you want one of the best edge rushers in the game, most complete edge rushers in the game, at only 29, who's proven that he can stay healthy? Yeah, why have that guy? Yeah. David Ditter, if they don't put Hunter on the line as an end in a 3-4, just trade him. He's not an outside linebacker. I think Brian Flores is smart enough and versatile enough to be able to utilize Danielle Hunter and his strengths. Like Danielle standing up, Danielle dropping in coverage, don't do that. No. But even though Flores says that the Vikings are going to be a 3-man front, there's going to be 4-man fronts out there, as well as, when he was the DC of the Patriots back in the day, final season 2018 when they won the Super Bowl, so they had Trey Flowers as an edge rusher, but they used him a lot with exclusively with his hand in the dirt. So using him as a 5-tech, using him as a wide 9, I think that you certainly can use Danielle Hunter like that, and I think that Flores is smart enough to do that. But that's it. That is this week's version of Q&A. You guys are the best. Skol, production value.